Represent, be counted. Yeah, represent, be counted. Represent, be counted. Represent, be counted. Represent, be counted, y'all.
Hey everybody, April 22nd, happy Earth Day. Glad to have you with us today. It is also noon on Wednesday. You know what that is. It's time for another Tiny Census Concert. In our Tiny Census Concert series, it's been a blast for a couple of weeks here. This is week 3. My name is Gene Grant. I'm host of New Mexico in Focus on New Mexico PBS. Been graciously honored to be your host for these Tiny Census Concerts. I really like them. We're here for you once again today because we are committed to helping our state, the beautiful state of New Mexico, achieve a complete count in the 2020 census. Now, currently, Los Alamos County is leading the entire nation in census response. Way to go, Los Alamos. Man, what do you guys got going on up there? What a great example for the rest of the state. But the entire country making the census a priority and responding with urgency and a sense of that. As you spend time with us here today, it's our hope that you'll follow the lead of Los Alamos and respond to the census today. That's our goal. If you got that thing laying around on your kitchen table, your dining room table, your counter, you know where it is. It came in the mail. Grab that thing during this hour. We're going to get you to get that thing squared away. We need you to get that squared away so we can get what we need here to raise New Mexico at the top of every response census list. Now, this Tiny Census Concert series was created as a way to bring the best New Mexican artists to center stage while keeping you updated on any changes we have made aware of in the process of data collection for the census. I want to extend a special word of welcome to those of you who are joining us for the first time today, and for our supporters that have been here with us every Wednesday for the previous 2. Thank you for being here and for spreading the word, especially. I see it all over Facebook. Thank you guys for posting. Thank you guys for putting it on your feed. It really helps a lot. Well, we're completely live right now, so like, share, and comment in the chat. And also feel free to share any questions or feedback you might have and receive your answer in real time. That's the beauty of live, eh? During your quarantine time, I'm sure if you're most like a lot of us, you've been logged in quite a few hours on social media. That goes without saying. Maybe Pinterest. Maybe, like me, you've dove into things like HGTV, DIY TV. This is what happens when you're on a pandemic shutdown. DIY do-it-yourself projects. The census is sort of a DIY project of its own, which is the self-response. We all know that every industry has its own lingo, and the census is no different. We're going to take a few moments throughout today's show to help you become well-versed in the census vernacular and some of the words and phrases you might have heard or will hear as you learn about the census today in the weeks coming. For the first time in census history, we all have the option to self-respond online. This self-response, this DIY method I mentioned, is quick and easy, and in light of the current health concerns we're all adjusting to, it is the best and safest option for everybody concerned. The self-response phase of the census began last month on March 12th and is currently scheduled to conclude on October 31st, so you got a little bit. If you have your invitation to respond form, you can continue to take the census online, by phone, or by mail. Not to worry if you haven't received your invitation yet, it should be headed your way, but please consider this your invitation to log online and respond today. All field operations have been suspended, as you know, temporarily for the safety of the census workers and the public, but field operations are scheduled to begin again on June 1st as we sit here today. We'll update you next Wednesday on that, certainly. I will share more of the revised census operations timeline in later segments of this episode, but right now is a great time to turn our attention towards some of the best New Mexican artists who have so graciously chosen to share their gifts with us today. Before we begin the infotainment, entertainment portion of what we call edutainment, I love that word, which is our hybrid of education and entertainment, we would be remiss not to express our gratitude to iCountNM.gov, the Albuquerque-Bernalillo County Complete Count Committee, for all their efforts to make New Mexico count. As the battle against COVID-19 escalates and calls for social distancing grows louder, our performing artists are turning to on-live streams for stage and platform. We are humbled that we are able to provide an audience for them, certainly, in that they bring you entertainment that will inspire, motivate, and lift your spirits wherever you may be spiritually right now during this lockdown. Now, in this segment, we proudly present Manuel Gonzalez, Mickey Cruz, and Christy Hines. April is National Poetry Month, And we have the pleasure of featuring the 23rd Poet Laureate of the United States, Joy Harjo, in week 1. She was terrific, as well as Gigi Bell in week 2. She was also amazing. And now we'll continue to salute our wordsmiths by turning the spotlight onto Manuel Gonzalez, who was the City of Albuquerque Poet Laureate from 2016 to 2018. Manuel began his career in the Poetry Slam genre, has represented Albuquerque 4 times as a member of the Albuquerque Poetry Slam team. Manuel also uses slam poetry to help local youth find positive and constructive ways to deal with life's pressures, and has appeared on the PBS show Colores. Oh, we loved him. Multi-award winner, singer, songwriter, and artist Mickey Cruz is an international star who has performed extensively throughout the U.S., Mexico, and Latin America. Mickey scored a Billboard Top 40 chart placement with his hit song Morena, and his Mickey Cruz show is in high demand in clubs, if you might know, casinos, and hotels throughout the southwest region of our country. And I think he's got his daughter playing and singing along with him. Now, just like the census, performing is a family affair in the Cruz household. Rounding out the artists in this first segment is Christy Hines, known as Bo Diddley's lead tambourinist. Christy has morphed into a multi-instrumentalist, singer, and songwriter, and has produced and released 2 records to critical acclaim. Finally, we'll hear from Joseph Stacy, an organizer from SWAP. You know them as the Southwest Organizing Project. He is the District 6 Albuquerque Councilor, and District 6 Albuquerque City Councilor Pat Davis, both with special messages about the 2020 census. In these trying times, it's critical that we enjoy art in all of its various forms. We should laugh, relax, dance, support each other, and right now we have the opportunity to do all the above. So let's kick off week 3 of the Tiny Census Concert series with Manuel Gonzalez, Mickey Cruz, and Christy Hines. We'll see you in just a little bit.
You got to go do the census because it's like the foundation of this democracy. And if you don't fill out the census, you're not being counted. That's super important, especially for working class people who need these government dollars to be coming in. Having the census online is easier for young people because it's got to be accessible for this day and age. We're in 2020. Phones in our pockets are supercomputers. We're moving so fast. Do it online because people are pretty spooked about COVID-19. But I'm going to tell my friends to go to 2020census.gov. That's easy. Anybody can do that.
My name is Manuel Gonzalez, and I'm the Albuquerque Poet Laureate Emeritus. And I need to be sure to be counted because I exist. Heartbeat and breath, flesh and blood, knuckle and tooth fighting to exist. Count me, count us, familia and sangre. We are here, together we exist. See us, our community, our beauty, our struggles and sacrifices matter. That's why we need to be counted. It's our responsibility to our ancestors' legacy to be seen. Beneath the sun's smile, we are here. Count us. It's more than roads. It's more than schools. We need to be sure to be counted so that they know we exist, breathing, our hearts beating, and we matter. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Because I exist. Feel my heartbeat, my breath. We are made of flesh and fire, together here, counted and recorded, creating history, creating community. Can you see me? Can you feel me? Together we exist, our hearts full of hope and dreams for our children to burn brighter, fly faster, and be more than we could have ever imagined. Familia and sangre, counted and recorded, we are here. Can you see us? Together we struggle to keep going day after day, always pushing, moving, sacrificing, honoring our ancestors' legacy with every step we take to be counted and recorded, leaving our marks on history. Look at us
Dance with us beneath the star-filled sky.
Together we spin around the sun, each one
counted and recorded.
visible and seen. It takes all of us
Every kind, every color
to stand up and be proud because of the sweat on your grandfather's brow.
You owe it to your grandmother's tears
To show that you are here with us, and together we exist.
My name is Joseph Stacy, and I am an organizer at the Southwest Organizing Project. We have been working on the Census 2020 for the past few months and have focused on hard-to-count areas in the city, such as the International District, the South Valley, Albuquerque Public Schools, the homeless population, as well as the urban Indian Native population here in Albuquerque. We feel that the census is very important in bringing much needed resources here in Mexico, as we have been historically undercounted and underfunded, and we want to remind everyone and encourage everyone to fill out the census form so that way, we can continue to receive those resources, especially important for our youth, for our school systems, for our healthcare, and for our communities.
Hey everyone, I'm Frankie Marino, a singer, songwriter, and musician. I started playing the piano at about 3 years old and appeared on a TV show called Star Search when I was 10. Music education was incredibly important to me growing up, and today I want to tell you how you can support education of all kinds in your community. The 2020 census is a count of everyone living in the United States that happens once every 10 years, and it's coming up soon. Responding to the census helps allocate funding for your community's schools, as well as other public resources like hospitals and fire departments. Taking part is our civic duty. Join me in committing to be counted, and help your community understand how the census is easy, safe, and important. To learn more about supporting the 2020 census, visit 2020census.gov.
Hello friends, this is Mickey Cruz, and I'm here to invite you and encourage you to stand up and get yourself counted for the United States Census 2020. By getting yourself counted, you will be helping our state and communities get federal funding for our schools, healthcare clinics, and infrastructure. Filling out this information should take less than 10 minutes, and your personal information is confidential. Hola amigos, les saluda Mickey Cruz para invitarles a llenar el formulario del Census 2020. Es muy importante ser incluido en el Census para ayudar a nuestro estado y nuestra comunidad a recibir fondos federales. Estos fondos federales ayudan a nuestro estado a pagar la infraestructura de nuestro estado, las escuelas de nuestros hijos, clínicas médicas y apoyo de viviendas. Hagamos la diferencia y hagámonos contar. Cuento con ustedes. Parte del census
I'm Pat Davis, and I'm lucky enough to represent the International District and many other amazing neighborhoods on the Albuquerque City Council. Nowhere else in New Mexico can you find so many different voices and experiences than right here in our own International District. Almost all of our businesses are small, family-owned and family-run, employing our neighbors and serving each other from amazing food to everyday household services. But when it comes time to invest public resources in the institutions to help those businesses and our families succeed, too often there isn't enough to go around. In just the last 2 years, the city of Albuquerque invested almost $5 million, giving neighborhoods like Trumbull Village new streets and sidewalks and streetlights. And this summer, we're investing another $1 million to rebuild parks like Wilson and Phil Chacon. That's all federal money we get because of the census. And we all know those investments aren't nearly enough, especially in places like our International District. That's why we need everyone, every single one, to fill out the census. Because everyone who misses out means about $3,000 less for New Mexico to help with healthcare, housing, and build those streets and parks. Join me in making sure that everyone counts. Fill out the census today and ask your neighbor if they've done it too.
Why is being visible and counted important in New Mexico? Well, it's important anywhere. If you want your opinions to count, then you should be counted. Hundreds of billions of dollars will be distributed. You want to get in on that. We need to get in on that. New Mexico is not the richest state, so we do depend on that federal funding. Libraries, childcare, local schools, Head Start programs, for hospital funding, for natural disaster funding. It is a democracy after all. I'd like to do this song for you. It's about a woman who's not afraid to stand up, not afraid to be counted, not afraid to walk in the dark, and she knows her own worth. So I hope you enjoy it. It's called Miss Morocco. Her talent was throwing the stars, and her body from Mars, preferred by men with cigars. She quit the pageant scene for reasons sharp and clean and cold in her pocket for love. Set sail for American shores where they waged their happiness wars, but an agent killed him with a headshot. Ninja beauty, queen of knives, she has no fear. She walks at night, just don't cross her, and you'll be alright. We're Miss Morocco. Put her up in a sweet hotel, so sweet you barely noticed the smell. And he told her they were somewhere near to Hollywood. And trouble started with a knock on the door. Fragile pieces ended up on the floor of the suite at the feet of Miss Morocco. Ninja beauty, queen of knives, she has no fear. She walks at night, just don't cross her, and you'll be alright. We Miss Morocco. Housekeeping fled with a scream. The sheets had been white, the last they had seen, but the curtain flew high and pristine over the street below. An Asian man, well, he hardly such a beauty, the queen of nice. She has no fear, she walks at night. Just don't cross her and you'll be alright. With Miss Morocco.
Hey, shout outs and thanks to our segment 1 artists, Mickey, Manuel, and Christy. Good stuff there. Absolutely amazing. Now remember, we're live and look forward to your questions and comments in the chat so we can answer you in real time. That's a real benefit of being live here. It may seem like everyone involved with raising awareness is going to great lengths to reach out to as many people as we can, certainly. And if you believe that, you're right. The census only happens once every decade, every 10 years, and achieving a complete and accurate count in this year's census is absolutely critical. The 2020 census will determine congressional representation for one thing, that one we all sort of know about. But the thing we want to really keep in mind is it informs hundreds of billions of federal funding for New Mexico. That's a big deal for us here. And it provides data that will impact communities for the next decade. And that's equally a big deal to plan for the future and the health and welfare of our state. A complete and accurate count in the 2020 census will provide a snapshot of our nation and our state, who we are, where we live, and so much more. For the first time in census history, we are all offered the option to complete our census online, and responding online only takes a few minutes. In fact, as we roll into the entertainment for segment 2 coming up here in just a minute or so, I just bet you could start and finish your online response by the time these artists have finished. I bet you can do it. I've seen it done. This is our census challenge to you right now. We know that not everyone, now let me make a point here. We know that not everybody may not have a computer or immediate access online, but most of us do have a computer or our smartphones right in our hand, and the online response is user-friendly on our phones as well. That's an important thing, and it's not going to use up so much bandwidth that you got to have Wi-Fi to do it. You can do it off of a cell signal, no question about that. But if you need to find free public Wi-Fi in your community, the New Mexico State Library has an interactive map of libraries across the state providing Wi-Fi in their parking lot so students can access online resources for free. Local residents can fill out their online census surveys, of course, doing it that way as well. Some are keeping their Wi-Fi on 24/7, letting people slurp off of that, using an old 90s term. And several have boosted their signal so that can reach out further and do that as a community service. Comcast is a program that offers low-cost internet service to individuals who qualify. And my understanding is that for about 2 or 3 months, they'll provide you with some information about free internet access with their latest offer, so you may want to check that out. But right now, let me introduce you to the next set of artists, Ebony Isis Booth and Jur Anderson from the Jur Project. Let's see, Ebony Isis Booth is a poet, writer, cultural strategist, coach, curator of vibes, sometimes DJ on KUNM. She should be on more often, actually. Her work is ceaseless in its obligation to elevate vibrational energies by heralding social justice, self-love, intersectionality, and visibility for Black women. Jur Anderson founded the Jur Project, a progressive blues band from the Native American pueblos of New Mexico. With a positive message for youth and community, Jur has been nominated for New Mexico Music Awards and is the proud winner of the International Award from the North American Indigenous Image Awards. Good stuff there. He's a rock and blues man. You'll love his guitar work here. Now, as we adjust to the way the world we live in is so rapidly and drastically changing, could you imagine what it would be like to live in a world without art? The only way to live in a world without art is to strip humans of the ability to see it. The first generation of people would suffer from widespread depression. The next generation would hear stories about this thing called art but not understand it. Without practice in the arts, we have less ability to reflect on our experience, to ask good questions, to express our perspective, to act on our feelings, and to develop a community that might resist the status quo. If you can control the culture, you can control the story. We all know that. Ebony and Jur have powerful stories to share, as well as Kim Baca, a principal at Kim Baca Consulting, and here today representing the Native Census Coalition. I'll see you back here after this break, and thanks again for tuning in with us. Get in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you're seeing, what you're feeling, what you're sensing in the world out there when it comes to the census, and we'll see you right back here in just a few minutes.
What's up, New Mexico? My name is Ebony Isis Booth. I am a poet, cultural strategist, and a coach. I specialize in amplifying the voices and experiences of people of color, namely Black folks here in New Mexico. And in the 2010 census, African Americans in New Mexico accounted for less than 3% of the population in the state. And so due to long-standing narratives of the tricultural myth that erases the identities of hundreds of thousands of New Mexicans, we're often underrepresented in public policy and considered an insignificant demographic. Now, dispelling that myth is central to my work as a creative and a community organizer. There's no such thing as an insignificant human or demographic. You count. I count. And so we should participate in the 2020 census to ensure that our voices are heard. So, will you join me? We deserve to see ourselves amplified. This poem is titled, Be the Capital. 'Cause ain't no other way to be than the capital character boasting 2 humps on the unswerving plumb line of the letter B in Black Girl Magic. We out here. We be clattering into museums and saloons. A dazzling spectrum of melanin, sun-kissed orange soda, sweet lips dripping theory and compliments that'll make you wish you never drank the Kool-Aid laced lies about our legacy. We be a ministry. Call our incantations church. Bring the belongings of your formerly betrothed to our backyards, burn them in ritual, soothe your soul in the roux of our cast iron pots. We be conjuring in the colors our coffee turns while we drizzle cream and stir with spoons that clink the sides of Granny's teacup. When we swirl, we call the sunken ones back up. Named them all Lazarus. Our granddaddies taught us when to cock the guns, so we loaded them with black tourmaline bullets. Buckshots embossed the Beatitudes in braille across the backsides of ne'er-do-wells. We be regal. Call our coils crowns, matriarchs in the making, rulers of undiscovered empires nestled at the intersection of bosom, belt, and empire wastes. We be Mamiwata. Bearers of destiny, damming the Nile behind eyelashes. We be sobrinas of adobe dust, born in love with the wind, so our voices carry loud seeds of wisdom that were whispered to dandelion wishes, manicures polished to glisten. Under sandia sunsets, we sip mango nectar from mason jars and spit watermelon seeds into the Rio Grande. Lay sunflowers for Oshun as alms, invite her blessings by kissing our palms and tending our honey pots. We be warriors, swords sharpened to eviscerate, for debates can be lengthy and our life expectancy don't always afford us time to waste. So we be stolen sorceresses, penciled into the margins, refusing to be erased. Our inkwells are infinite, indigo details indelible, irrefutable hustle incubated intellectually in coven spaces. We be aggregating content, testing feedback loops inside bamboo hoops, aggravating the patriarchy every time we open mouth cackle at the wondrousness of it all. Rare and precious, few and vital, incumbent on your liberation, significant, here, always been. Magic. Thank you. Complete your census. You count, so you should be counted. Ain't no such thing as an insignificant demographic. We out here.
Hey everybody. My name is Jer Anderson. I'm a singer-songwriter from the Pueblos of New Mexico with the band The Jer Project. And I'm asking you to take 5 minutes today to complete your 2020 census for your household. It does have a big impact on you and your community at large. So here's a song I wrote for you. It's called Keep It Flowin', Get You Motivated. Get it done.
Nishikis. Greetings, friends. I'm Kim Baca. I'm part of the New Mexico Native Census Coalition. We are a collaboration of tribes and tribal organizations across the state working together to ensure an accurate count. An accurate count of indigenous people in the U.S. means about $1 billion annually in federal assistance to tribes. The count also guides federal policy and community decision-making, which means the funding of IHS, urban Indian health programs, Head Start, and so much more. If Native Americans are undercounted in New Mexico, we could also lose political representation at the state and local levels. Currently, we have 6 Native American state house districts and 3 state senate districts where the Native American population is over 50%. As we all know, representation matters. So please, join me in completing the census when you receive your form or invitation. I'm Dene and Kapo Owinge, and I count. You count too. All Native people in New Mexico count. Kiaha.
Want to hear a story? This is a story about a kid who just got internet at home, and he's ready to make the most of it.
This is a story about learning a new language, and it's told in 1-0.
This is a story about a girl who goes back in time.
This story is about the science project that turned me into a scientist.
This is the story about a kid with a tough assignment.
You finished that project yet?
I'm working on it. You need tougher grandpa.
There's a lot of stories out there. The best part of my story is that
it's just getting started.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has connected more than 8 million people from low-income households to low-cost, high-speed internet at home.
I'm ready for anything.
I'm ready for anything.
So they're ready for anything.
Hey, thank you, Ebony and Jur. Great stuff there. This concert series has been so cool. I'm amazed at some of the artists that we've seen so far. Now that we're in week 3, we're not even done with week 3 yet, so we got some good stuff coming. Hey, quick note, I got a note from my boy Hakeem Bellamy. Thank you, Hakeem, so much. He wanted to make sure that you all knew. I mentioned last segment there was free Wi-Fi available, a map at the New Mexico State. Well, the city of Albuquerque, of course, the Keller administration has rolled out their Wi-Fi on Wheels program. They started that earlier this month on the 9th. There was a press conference. I apologize to the administration for forgetting about this as well, but let me give you the data on this. Real quick background, 73% of New Mexicans has a broadband connection. That is below the average in nationwide is 81%. Just want to throw that out there so you know what the need is for Wi-Fi connections in our state. And so the Drive Up Wi-Fi program will provide free internet access at 80 new hotspots around Albuquerque, including sites at meal distribution locations and especially at APS schools. And if you have a child in the family, that's always a comfortable place to be, is on the grounds of their school, if you have to be somewhere with them out of the house. The city of Albuquerque has created a map of outdoor free Wi-Fi sites available online and distributed at those meal sites, and the map is available in several languages and updated daily with additional information. Thank you, Hakeem, for bringing that into my attention, so that level of detail. So there's Wi-Fi out there. If you go to cabq.gov, you'll be able to find out where that is. That's the city of Albuquerque's site. Now, as you know, the U.S. Census is conducted every 10 years, and what a difference a decade does make. In 2000, New Mexico had a 62% response rate. In 2010, we slipped to 60%. And this year, we need you to make a difference and put our state on the top by doing this ASAP. You may have seen the news just a couple of days ago. New Mexico, we are not doing well on our response rate compared to the rest of the nation. We got to find another gear here. That's what we're here to do, is to get you to think about and spread the word to your friends, your artist friends, your every kind of friends out there, family, co-workers. Just, hey, have you done the census thing? Only takes a couple of minutes. I did it myself. You can talk from a place of credibility with your friends. You can tell them actually how easy it goes. It's going to be really important. So just this week, if you haven't responded to the census, you should have received another mailed invitation. However, this right here, like Ed Sullivan, this is your invitation. Do it for yourself, for the bright future of New Mexico. And when we'll have your numbers recorded accurately, it works out great for all of us. Now, most households receive their invitation to respond back between March 12th and March 20th. These official Census Bureau mailings include a census ID. This is an important point here. That's needed to complete the census online. Just this week, if you haven't responded to the census yet, you should have received another mailed paper invitation to mail back. If that's more convenient for you, however, you can still respond online. You can still do that. And this is your invitation. If you lost or misplaced your ID, this is kind of a key deal here. You can call 1-800-354-7271. If you've lost or misplaced your ID, it's 1-800-354-7271 for assistance. Now, having your unique identifier of the census ID will assist you in that expediting that process. If you're curious about the census tract you live in and want more information about how your community stands to benefit from a complete count, you can find those resources by visiting New Mexico Community Data Collaborative and accessing the interactive maps. It's pretty cool. The website address is nmcdc.maps.arcgis.com. I'm going to do that again. nmcdc.maps with an S .arcgis.com. That's that website address. Now, thanks to Tom Sharman, who leads this effort, and the Community Data Collaborative is really an important part of our process. All right, our next set of artists are on deck. We hope you have been thoroughly entertained while being edutained, if you will. Continue to ask questions and share your feedback in the comments below. I'd love to give you some comments and feedback at you while we're here live so we can answer as we bring on some more representatives from the Keshet Dance Company. Woohoo! Another poet extraordinary, Zachary Kluckman is with us, and Isaac Aragon is with us as well. Founded in 1996, Keshet Dance Company is an arts-based nonprofit organization which exists to inspire and unite the community by fostering unlimited possibilities through dance, mentorship, and a creative space for the arts. Zachary Kluckman is the National Poetry Awards 2015 to 2016 Slam Organizer of the Year and the 2014 Slam Artist of the Year. He is a Scholastic Art and Writing Awards Gold Medal poetry teacher, Red Mountain Press National Poetry Prize recipient, and is a founding organizer of the 1,000 Poets for Change program. Like sugarcane, honeysuckle, licorice, root nourishment for the soul, Isaac Aragon is a potent soul singer and frontman for the Albuquerque-based band, The Healing. Hell-bent on inspiring movement of the body and soul, his original music promotes love, healing, and social justice. We'll hear from CBO in this segment as well, and I'll be back with you one last time to say goodbye for today. So right now, enjoy this next bit from our Tiny Census Concert.
I'm Anna, and I'm a dancer with Keshet Dance and Center for the Arts. It's important to be visible and counted in New Mexico because as creative citizens, we are as diverse as the landscape of our state. Being counted gives us a voice and allows us to serve our community. Did you know that funding to provide access to the arts is determined by the number of people in our state? Keshet Dance and Center for the Arts is an Albuquerque-based nonprofit whose mission is to inspire and unite community by fostering unlimited possibilities through dance, mentorship, and a creative space for the arts. When you are counted, it means Keshet can provide you and all the community access to dance. Everyone can dance. That means everyone needs to be counted.
Everyone can dance. Everyone. You matter. Community. Coming together, community, coming together, unlimited possibilities, unlimited possibilities, coming together. You matter. We matter. Home. Movement. Body. People. Count people, count people, count people, count people, count 5, count 2, 5, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, more, 3, more, everyone, movement, everyone, movement, everyone can dance, everyone, art, you matter, community, access, coming together, community, coming creative together, space, unlimited possibilities, Unlimited possibility. Unlimited possibility. Coming together. You matter. We matter. New Mexico. Albuquerque. Community. Albuquerque. New Mexico. Albuquerque. New Mexico. New Mexico. Count. Count. New Mexico.
One of the things that makes New Mexico such a special place is that we have so many different voices with so many different stories to tell. And sometimes the easiest way to start to tell your story is by saying, I'm here. So please take a couple of minutes to fill out your 2020 census, send it in, get it done, and be counted. Speaking of voices, this is the Introvert Survival Guide. 1, do not be ashamed of your silence. Speak only when necessary, and your words will carry their own weight. This only makes your voice stronger. 2, do not let being alone make you lonely. Use the extra time to unwrap your middle name like the last box of dishes from your mother's kitchen. Learn to love the mirror for its gentle insistence that your skin carries light like a postal worker. You are here to deliver something. 3, treat the word love like a prayer. Speak it only when your soul has been shaken by a spirit so powerful you find yourself on the floor. Do not expect it to save you. Love, like prayer, is an act of faith that makes your body a holy place. So do not surrender your prayers to anyone whose hands are not clean enough to heal. 4, when you do choose to speak, do not whisper like rain. Gather as much of the sky as your lungs can contain. Scream like crickets, like cicadas. Covet the moon. Convince the sky of your claim. 5, the laughter of children is the sound the rain is trying to make. When it stands outside your door waiting to be let in, let it in. Keep the world company. 6, remove the callus from your heart. All that hard flesh left on the meat from walking away 12, 100, 1,000 times. Your chest is not filled with feet, so do not crawl on the floor looking for love. Stand up. 7, when your son tells you that old people smell like books, show him the goosebumps. Tell him that this is the power of his words. Teach him to understand conversation as the fine art of carving. Remind yourself of this lesson. Let silence be the tool of your creation. 8, a room with 6 closed doors is not as inviting as a room with one that is open. You are not the only one who feels lonely, but your heart is a door, so open it. Keep the world company. 9, love is not an animal to be chased by drunken moons. It is the water where the moon rests her head, the hot breath and wild eyes of something unseen, so when it comes, do not be startled by its movement in the trees. 10, never give up on love. Keep coming back to this. Not the person who hurt you, but the idea. Remember that love, like God, is too big to hide forever. 11, you will fear that your last name, your leftover bottles of rainwater, or your love of cicadas have taught the world to see you as strange. But 12, searching the carnival glass of their eyes, we find the strange beautiful. The long halls of their silence filling their throats with the sound they have learned to name prayer. The first to write poems are always the lonely. So when you feel lonely enough to write poems, search your eyes in the mirror for a sadness that reminds you of home, and remember, you are here to deliver something. The word you are looking for is hope. Speak up and be counted.
Every voice matters. Every post, pledge, and tweet adds to the story. Letting your family and friends know what matters. That we can shape the future of education, healthcare, and infrastructure. That when all of our voices come together, one tweet, post, and pledge at a time, we can shape America's future.
Buenos dias, Nuevo Mexico. My name is Isaac Aragon, and I'm here to remind you to fill out your census forms. As New Mexicans, one of the things we're most proud about is how unique and diverse our community is, and this is a unique opportunity to make sure that we get a good snapshot of our community at this time. Now that most of us are home and the forms are available online, it's easier than ever to lend your hand in shaping the future of our community. And I want to remind you that if you have any little ones in your home, make sure that you count them as well, as you won't have an opportunity to do so for the next 10 years. So much love to all of you guys. Continue to take care of each other, and be well, New Mexico.
Liberate your mind and revolutionize. Seeking you will find that love is the answer. Two fingers to the sky, and flowers in her hair. Here to testify, oh, that love is free and love is fair. Love bless America. Love bless America. Love bless America right now. Praise and glorify, and live a faithful life. Seeking you will find, oh, then God is the answer. His Bible held high, stars and stripes across his chest. Testify, oh, then God is love and love is blessed. Love bless America. Love bless America. Love bless America right now. If God is love, love is free, then why are we in misery? If God is love and love is free, then it's up to you and me. Yeah, if God is love and love is free, then why are we in misery? Oh, if God is love is free, then it's up to you and me. Whoa, love bless America. Love bless America. Love bless America right now. Love bless America. Love bless America. Love bless America right now. Right now. Love bless America right now.
Hey guys, welcome back. Much thanks to those artists. Absolutely tremendous work there. Let me mention this. As you've heard, your response to the census helps determine how billions of dollars are allocated annually for things that we all use and need, like public education, roads, and even hospitals and healthcare clinics. This year is the first year ever you can complete your census online, by phone, or by mail. This wraps up this week of week 3 of our Tiny Census Concert series. Join us next Wednesday at noon to watch the next set of talented New Mexican artists. Listen to this list: Delphia, Donnie Tesso, Dre Dog, Jessica Munoz Flamenco, Mineral Hill, Rebecca Arscott, my boy Ryan Montano, and Sol de la Noche. That's an amazing lineup, guys. I'm amazed what we've pulled off here in 3 weeks. Thanks to all of our talented artists today. We appreciate you and all the artists in New Mexico's creative economy. Keep doing what you're doing. This series is brought to you by Bernalillo County, the city of Albuquerque, iCountNM.gov, and Catherine McGill, woohoo, from the New Mexico Black Leadership Council. She stitched this whole thing together. Thank you, Catherine. On behalf of George Lujan, Jamie Galochet, Larry Martinez, and Pat Davis, I want to say thank you for having me as your host, certainly. We'll see you back here next Wednesday at noon. And remember, fill out your census form. If you have any questions, leave a message in the chat. We'll get back to you. So until next Wednesday at noon, be well, take care, stay home, isolate, do all the things we need to do to get back on track here and fill out your census form. We'll see you then.
Represent, be counted. Yeah, represent, be counted. Represent, be counted. Represent, be counted. Represent, be counted, y'all.